Briefly going back to the Logan Paul thing, the Logan Paul video, I did watch his response video, and one thing that stuck out to me was that he made a claim that you worked in law enforcement or something similar to that, and it's been hanging around in my head. I want to know, like, did that come from anywhere?
No, I keep asking where that came from. I was like, where did that? This is so I've been waiting to respond. I'm gonna respond like officially on my channel. I'm kind of waiting till he does his apology. I was gonna respond, and that was gonna be one of the first claims that I'm like, I have no idea if he made this up or if he heard from somebody. Like, there has been a history of people, obviously. A lot of the people I cover on my show don't like me. So some of them post on these like anon boards that I ripped them off, or like basically they spread these rumors about me that aren't true. So I thought maybe that was the case. Like maybe Logan fell for one of these like silly little like, 4chan posts or something like that that says like I'm this bad guy. But no, it comes from nowhere. I've never worked for law enforcement, never tried to work for law enforcement. The only interaction I've had with them is exactly what I told you guys, which is like, occasionally my investigations will catch some eyes, and then like I'll get asked like, hey, can you hand this over? Like, you had this evidence in your video, where'd you get that? And I'll be like, oh, I'll help, I guess. Because I want to see these people go to like, face justice. I put it in my video. So I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll give that to you. That led to, the only thing that's ever led to is an arrest. So I don't know how, like, I think he said like the work is not rooted in like truth, or like it's speculative. So I literally don't know where this is from. I asked Logan about it. I didn't get any responses. And I don't know.
How's that even an own? Like, even if you did work with law enforcement in the past, how does that invalidate anything you've said?
I don't know if you watched it, Kaya. It was basically just like a character assassination attempt. It was just attacks. So his thing was, he tried to work in law enforcement, but they said his research was often not grounded in truth or speculative, and then he just moved on from it. He didn't prove it or anything.
Sources. There's no
that sounds made up.
Yeah,
it was great. Oh man,
it kind of makes you sound
like
too
if I
cool
said,
for
this guy
law
tried his hand at a PhD thesis, but he was denied. It's like, who gives a fuck?
His ideas were too stupid.
Yeah. He tried to go to college, but was deemed an imbecile. So can't trust him.
I kind of like it though. He's basically saying like you played too hard and too loose with the law. I mean, that kind of makes you sound like a badass, to be honest.
Oh, they took your badge. Is this an action hero movie now?
Yeah, dude, I would probably talk about that if that were the case. I mean, but it's just this weird claim where I was like, I have no idea where this is from. There's a lot in the video that's wrong. I guess I'll end up addressing it, but like, there's so much that's messed up. I wouldn't be surprised if actually like Zack Kelling, the guy in the video, like sues him for defamation. Cause like he, out of everyone, got smoked the worst just based on things that either weren't true or just were completely like defamatory. It's crazy. And that guy's a private figure. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but
oh god, yeah. Wait,
that's really interesting.
That's something that we should absolutely mention, because I don't think you guys know this. So in Logan Paul's response video, he's like, well, Coffee Zilla refused to acknowledge that the developer that he was talking to was actually a criminal I hired. And then he puts his criminal history on blast. But that guy had his whole record expunged. He's a private figure. So he straight up fucking doxed the guy to his entire audience. It was wild.
Based on a 2002 conviction. It was over 20 years old. Like, I literally think, I actually asked Z, or Zach, I guess he's known by, now that Logan doxed him. I asked him about it, and he's like, yeah, like I had that record expunged. It's from 20 years ago. Not only have I tried to get it expunged, he works for like some like criminal reformation like thing now. Like, he's like totally moved on from that. It like doesn't define him anymore. So it's not even that I'm the biggest fan of Zach, or I think he's like this super trustworthy guy, but to be like, oh, he's a felon is like, if 20 years from now somebody was bringing up like the suicide forest for like Logan Paul, like it's like crazy. So that was really weird. Yeah. And then he said that Zach only had 3 developers, but that's factually not true. And like, I ended up texting Logan about it. I didn't get a response about it, but basically there's GitHub proof that they had over 30 contributors to that GitHub. So it's like factually not true. He goes, yeah, he tried to extort me for like $1 million, but he only had 3 engineers. It's like, that's just verifiably false.
That's so fucking good. I just couldn't get over because I was talking to Mudahar about it, and eventually was able to conclude like, yeah, no, this guy had his whole record expunged. Like he was like like the straight and narrow now. Logan for some reason thought this was a good defense to like make the claim that I only hire criminals, so you can't hold me responsible. It was so
weird.
It was so wild.
Yeah, it is very weird.
That had me giggling for a minute. Like this dude just got fucking doxxed as part of like Logan's defense strategy, which only made him look even more incompetent and negligent. Crazy.
Well, also, can't you only expunge your record if I think the crime you've committed was when before you were a legal adult, or if the crime is like such a negligible thing? Like you can't have murder expunged, right? Like it's not an important thing.
Yeah, no, I think there's definitely levels to it. I don't know what the policy is from where he lives, but yeah, I don't think you could have something as serious as murder expunged even 20 years later.
Yeah, I'm not also not a lawyer, but that sounds correct. What I know is that like Zack has spent basically his life since trying to A, like expunge it from his record, and B, get it put off the internet. Like, so he's taken like every pain to get it off these websites, to get it off all this stuff, only to have the guy who hired him for this project and then didn't pay him drag it in front of millions of viewers and like slander him with it. It's just, it's wild. As an own for me, like the weirdest thing is as an own against the guy who called him out, and then Logan made himself look worse. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Like you hired him, but so how did Logan find out that he was a criminal if it was expunged?
That's what I can't. Even this guy was like, I have no idea how he found this out. He must have like, paid. There's these offshore data brokers who just kind of don't care. They'll just sell any information about you. So my guess is they did some like super deep, like probably paid background check on the guy to try to dig up some dirt. I really don't know. I don't know actually how though, because what's at least from what Zack was telling me is like, he's like, you normally would not be able to find this about me. So I don't know the truth. I don't know where
you should come out and claim
someone is
claim basically that Logan is in law enforcement. Do a reverse cut. That's how he found out.
That would be quite
maybe
the twist.
Yeah, maybe that's how he found out that I used to work for them too, or tried to work for them, or whatever it is.
He worked in the same department.
Yeah, dude, he's in my department. And like it's Logan who said it. That's like Logan's quote. He's like, yeah, I didn't like him because his work is often not. And I said that yesterday.
His papers arrived on my desk, and I said, well, this is speculative transactional nonsense here. This is going right in the dumpster.
That would make it even worse, though, if he ran actual background checks on people and like typed them into Google and found out their history and then decided, yeah, I'll work with this guy still.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole thing that makes no sense about this. What's also weird, like I guess I'll bring this up probably when I later do a response video, but I think I'll bring it up here too. Like the whole idea of repairing the game is kind of great and all, but the problem is, these criminals that you like invited in, some of them still have tokens. Like they sold, but they didn't sell everything. So one of the strange like questions that I have is, okay, let's say your plan is to repair the game and you say you're not going to make any money from it, which I interpret to be like, I'll never sell. I'm just going to like, just altruistically build this thing. What about the guys and criminals who already stole from the project who still have money, like who still have money in the game? How do you get them out?
That's a good question.
So he'd have to buy them out too and somehow force them to sell their shitcoin.
Yeah, but Crypto King has like as many wallets as Sam Bankman-Fried has subsidiaries. He has like, so many, he's like hundreds of wallets. So because I think when I was tracking him, I tracked something like over 40 wallets, and that's just the ones I knew of. Maybe more than that. I have to go check. But so I know he has wallets I don't even know about. I certainly know he has wallets that Logan Paul doesn't know about. And then the same thing is true of Eddie Ibanez. It's not clear that we have all his wallets tracked. So because they were doing shenanigans this whole time where they were buying in secretly while no one knew. So because of that, I think that like the idea of just restarting the game is sort of a non-starter because you just have these giant whales that are going to sell. I mean, presumably when the price goes up.
God, can you imagine how poetic that would be? All right, it's coming back, guys. Put all your money in. Trust me this time. And then bang, happens again.
It doesn't make it. Yeah, it's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. It's really weird. Also, I think I saw like the wallet that I think is Logan. I have it tied to Logan. And it was like rebuying into CryptoZoo like right before he announced that he was coming back. So like he was like trying to pump his own price, which I thought that was really interesting. Like I was like, oh, that's because there was a lot reported about like, oh, CryptoZoo's way up so it's like a bullish indicator. Like, hey, people really believe this. But I mean, from what I could tell, it was like a lot of just like Logan and co that was buying in.
God, that's so sad. Ugh.
Sounds like a scam to me.
They believe in the project.
We'll see if people buy in. I mean, I think if I'm Logan, I'm like, look, this is my chance to extricate myself from this situation. Let's just pay these people back, and let's never mention the word CryptoZoo again. Because this is going to become like a multi-year albatross for him, where he has to constantly answer for the failures of CryptoZoo. Like, I just find it hard to believe that CryptoZoo is going to be this huge success since. So why would
ego? It's going to be ego.
Yeah, why would you launch it again? Like, I don't know, man. It's so weird.